Welcome to AG Chelsea TV. In today's video we'll start with Chelsea wonderkid set for summer move. Leslie Lukaku, acquired from Stade Rennais for a notable fee of €27 million, experienced a challenging first season at Stamford Bridge. His debut was marred by limited appearances, just 15 in all competitions, largely due to a persistent hamstring issue. This setback has been a critical factor in Chelsea's decision to consider a loan move, aiming to provide Lukaku with the much-needed game time to develop further. Moises Caicedo, Enzo Fernandez, Romeo Lavia, Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall, Carney Chukwuemeka, and Conor Gallagher, if he stays, form Chelsea's midfield core, and game time would be an issue for Lukaku next campaign, noted Foot Mercato. This congested midfield scenario at Chelsea places additional pressure on young talents to carve out a niche for themselves, a task daunting yet essential for their career trajectory. The decision to loan out a player of Lukaku's potential is not made lightly. Last season, a loan was considered, but then manager Mauricio Pochettino was impressed enough in pre-season to retain him. This year, however, the landscape has shifted, with Andre Santos returning from a loan spell and reportedly ready to step into a first-team role. Everton and an unnamed League One club have shown interest in securing Lukaku on loan. An unnamed League One club are also keen on Lukaku, although the 20-year-old is reportedly eager to seal a Premier League loan as he looks to establish himself in English football. Reports Foot Mercato. Such a move within the Premier League could indeed serve as an ideal platform for Lukaku to gain the requisite experience and exposure. Barcelona worried about missing out on Nico Williams to Chelsea. Barcelona sold Marc Guiu, who could join Sevilla on loan, to Chelsea earlier this month. The two European giants, though, could soon find themselves in a transfer battle for the same player. Chelsea have been linked with quite a few attackers recently as they look to improve their forward line. Chelsea reportedly want Karim Adeyemi, but they also have an interest in another player who Barcelona are keen on as well. In the summer of 2022, Barcelona beat Chelsea to the signings of Rafinha and Jules Koundé. Fast forward to now, and it looks like they are hoping to see off competition from the Blues once again, according to the reliable Fabrizio Romano. Barcelona want to sign Athletic Bilbao's Nico Williams quickly, fearing Chelsea and Arsenal's interest. Discussing the 22-year-old on his YouTube channel, he said, "Barca want to go for Nico Williams. Barca want to be fast because they know that the English top clubs, Chelsea, Arsenal, are keeping close eye to the situation of Nico, but they don't want to pay that big money of release clause, the commission, salary. So Barca want to win this race on the timing. They want to be faster, and Barca are prepared starting from next week to advance and push on this deal. There is a crucial factor. Barca could need to sell a player also to make some space for financial fair play." A report from Team Talk claims that the release clause in Williams' contract is set at £49 million. In this current market, that is not too much money for a player of Williams' contract. The problem are his wages and commission, as Romano explained. Even so, it is still worth Chelsea challenging Barcelona for his signature. The Athletic Bilbao star has shown just how good he is at the Euros this summer. He is Spain's fifth highest rated player on WhoScored with an average match rating of 7.34. His average of 2.4 per dribbles is the second highest in his squad, while his average of 2 key passes is the fourth. Williams can be a really tricky and creative winger, one Chelsea should be looking to sign this summer. Chelsea now eyeing Bayern's Mathys Tel. This summer, the Blues have managed to bring in the likes of Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall, Renato Veiga, and Dossin Adarabioyo. However, Chelsea have not really improved their attack yet, with most of their signings being midfield and defensive ones. They have brought in Marc Guiu, but he could join Sevilla on loan. With the transfer window still open, though, there is still time for them to act and land a new attacker like one star from Bayern. Bayern have signed João Palhinha and Michael Olise, and like with Chelsea, there is also plenty of time left for them to add more players to their ranks. Doing so, though, could impact the future of one member currently in Vincent Kompany's squad. Journalist Simon Phillips has shared that his sources believe that Mathys Tel could decide to leave the Allianz Arena this summer, depending on who else arrives. On his Substack, he wrote, "Mathys Tel of Bayern is still very much one to watch right now according to SPTC sources. They believe that he could look to leave the club, depending on who Bayern sign in. It might be one that develops." According to Phillips, Tel is a name that Chelsea have discussed signing internally. Tel can play as a striker or winger, positions Chelsea have been looking to strengthen during this transfer window. The Frenchman is also 19, so he fits the Blues' transfer strategy, which has seen them sign a lot of young players recently. At that age, Tel obviously has a lot of potential. He does extraordinary things. Arsenal legend Thierry Henry has been quoted as saying when discussing his compatriot, "When you consider all of the above, it is easy to imagine Tel becoming a serious target for Chelsea this summer." Aston Villa to end Conor Gallagher pursuit. Dan Bardell believes Aston Villa will end their pursuit of Conor Gallagher from Chelsea after agreeing a £50 million deal for Amadou Onana. Fabrizio Romano reported on the 13th of July that Everton had accepted a formal proposal from the Villains for the 22-year-old. The transfer specialist has also suggested that the Belgian international will undergo medical tests after his holiday ahead of a £50 million move. Sky Sports and TalkSport journalist Bardell has suggested that Villa will end their interest in Gallagher from Chelsea after Onana's move is confirmed. Speaking exclusively to Villa News, Bardell said, "Onana is a different type of midfielder, but under Emery, you'll see a very good player. He did well at the Euros for Belgium, I thought." You could argue that £50 million is on the pricey side, but Everton paid around £30 million, and his value has grown since then. He's been linked to plenty of big teams, but now he's coming to Villa, which is a positive thing. This will put an end to the Conor Gallagher links. Villa aren't going to sign both of them. It is going to be interesting to see when everyone is fit who Emery chooses. The Villains were heavily interested in the England international earlier in the window, with a move looking likely at one stage. David Ornstein had suggested that Unai Emery was an admirer of Gallagher, the 4th of June, and that a deal to ease PSR concerns was possible. Villa instead opted to sign Ian Maatsen, while the Blues signed Omari Kellerman, which benefited both sides financially. There was a chance that Emery could have continued his pursuit of the 24-year-old, but with Onana coming in, that now feels unlikely. And that's the final content of today's video. Like, subscribe to support AG Chelsea TV.